Okay, guys, so this is video 2. I want to go back to this example. So a couple things what we step on step 4. When we solving, we multiply left and right side by LCD, which was x plus 2 times x plus 4, and now we're just simplifying. Okay, so right here, sorry, okay, we got negative 8 because everything cancel. From the second parenthesis, x plus 4 cancels, so we end up with x times x plus 2 equal, and here x plus 2 and x plus 2 cancel, and we end up with 2 times x plus 4. So how you guys going to know that you solved those problems correctly? If you're going to get rid of fractions, that means you're on a good track. Now, next we need to simplify. So we have negative 8. Here we're going to distribute x. So this is x plus x, which is x squared, plus 2x plus x squared plus 2x equal 2x plus 8. 2x plus 8. Okay, so now we need to combine like terms. So we end up with x squared. 2x plus 2x will give us I'm just checking. Hold on a few seconds. Oops, I'm sorry. I copied this one twice. So we have negative 8 plus x squared plus 2x. I was thinking, having the feeling that I copied that twice. It's equal to 2x plus 8. So now we have, let's simplify, x squared plus 2x minus 8 equal 2x plus 8. We're going to subtract 2x from both sides, and we're going to subtract 8 from both sides. So we'll end up with x squared minus 16 equals 0. And now to solve for x squared, we'll just add 16 to both sides. And I'm getting x squared equals 16. Take the square root of both sides, and we're getting x equal 4, x equal negative 4. Okay, so now when you got two solutions, go back to restricted values. So we want to go back to restricted values and see if our solutions are 4 and negative 4 or one of them are fake. So let's go to restricted values. And here when we solve that problem, we said that x equal negative 2 and x equal negative 4 cannot be a solution because they are restricted values. So in our case, we have negative 4. So x equal negative 4 is a restricted value. What that means, can't be solution. Okay, so we ignoring that, and the only solution which we have is x equal 4. Okay, so that's the solution set, x equal 4. So what else I have? I have 3 application problems for you guys. So let's continue. So more examples. Translating. Next, we're going to talk about translating to a rational equation. Okay, so let's solve a couple problems like this. So example 2. The quotient of 10 and a number is 2 less than 4 times the reciprocal of the number. And the question is, find the number. So what we need to do here, we need to translate English sentence into mathematics expression. So of course, x is the number which we need to find. Okay, so let's start reading. Okay, a couple of things. They're talking about the quotient. So quotient means fraction bar of 10 and a number. So quotient means a fraction bar. So quotient of 10 and number, okay, is 2 less than is. Let's talk about word is. Word is means equal sign. So here we are going to have an equal sign. Is 2 less than 4 times the reciprocal of the number. Okay, couple things about less than. We talk about less than when you guys have a less than, so technically you switch the order. When you see the less than, and so you switch the order. I know we'll have to eventually subtract, but you're going to first create this. 4 times the reciprocal of the number. So 4 times reciprocal of the number, and our number is x, so 4 times 1 over x. And now I'm going back to this part. Is, which means our equal sign, 2 less than 4 times the reciprocal of the number. So 4 times reciprocal of the number minus 2. Okay, so when you see the less than, that means switch the order. Okay, so you technically read that part of the sentence backwards. Okay, so we have it. Okay, we need to solve it. So to solve that, so this is rational. So first, step 1, factor denominators. Okay, so denominators only denominators are only x. So to factor that is just x. So we have x, and also I want you to find the restricted value. So you make your denominator, make it equal 0. So technically x equals 0, it's restricted value, which means cannot be solution. Okay, so x equals 0 can't be the solution. It doesn't make sense. When x is equal 0, we have undefined statement because we're having 10 divided by 0. So that was step 1. To solve it, step 2, find LCD. Since denominators are only x, our LCD will be x. Step 3, multiply by LCD, which is x. So step 3, we multiply each by x. I have x times the left side of the equation, which is 10 over x, equal, that's the left side, equal x times the right side of the equation, which is 4 times 1 over x, which is 4 over x minus 2. And to solve it, we're going to distribute x. So x times 10 over x equal, distribute that x to 4 over x, so that will be x times 4 over x minus 2x. Okay, so here x cancel, so we have 10, it's equal 4 minus 2x, and let's just solve for x. We're going to subtract 4 from both sides. We're getting 6, it's equal negative 2x, and just divide each by negative 2, and we're getting that x is equal negative 3. Okay, so x equal negative 3, it's definitely not the restricted value, so that's going to be our solution. So this is our solution. So the number from that problem is negative 3. Okay, let's talk about example 3. So example 3 will be next. Solving formulas involving rational equations, solving formulas involving rational equations. And in this example, we need to solve for t. Okay, and that's our problem. C, it's equal r times t divided by d. And we need to solve for t. Okay, so first what we're going to do, we're going to remove the fraction. So in this case, it's a nice example. I recommend it to, like you guys see, denominator, it's d. So LCD is just that d. So multiply all by d. So we have d times original left side, which is c, equal d times original right side, which is r times t over d. So we having dc, it's equal d times r times t over d. D cancel, and we have dc, it's equal r times t. And now we need to solve for t. So to solve for t, divide all by r. So we're going to isolate that t. We're dividing both sides by r, and we end up that t is equal dc over r. Okay, so you solving those rational equations the same way. I know that you don't see too many coefficients, but again, all the rules apply the same way. And I have one more problem like this. So let's call this as A. Let's do B. Here it's going to be example when I want you to solve for H. And we have B over X. It's equal A over h plus 1. So step 1 is factor denominators. So our denominators are h. So h is just h. H is just h. Now, restricted value, I still want to talk about it. Restricted values are, you take your denominator and make it equal 0, which means x equals 0, h equals 0. So restricted value, that's the values for which this equation is impossible to solve. It doesn't make sense. Okay, step 2, to solve this type of equation, find LCD. So LCD of denominators of x and h is, just multiply them together, is x times h. Okay, that's the LCD. So step 3, multiply all by LCD, which is equal to x times h. Okay, so x times h, which is the LCD, I multiply by the original left side, which is b over x, equal LCD, which is x times h. I multiply by original right side, which is a over h plus 1. So next what I want you to do, so the first step what I'm doing here, I'm solving like a previous equation. I want to remove those fractions, okay? That's why I find the LCD and I multiply all sides by LCD so we can have nice linear equation without fraction. So next what we're going to do, we're going to distribute. So you treat that LCD like one real number. So multiply that by fraction. So that will become x times h times b over x equal, here again you treat that as a one expression. You have to distribute that to both. So that will be x times h times a over h plus x times h times 1. So here x will cancel and we end up only with h times b equal, here h is going to cancel, so we end up with x times a plus xh times 1, which is just x times h. And again, what we're doing here, in this problem, we need to solve for solve for h. So don't forget that we need to solve for h. So when you remove the fraction part, you want to solve for h. So what we're going to do with h? We're going to move h to the left side. So I'm going to, this expression has h, so I'm going to subtract x times h from both sides. Again, you have a product, so treat that as a one expression. So we're having hb minus xh, it's equal xa. And again, solve for h. So what you need to do here, factor h out. So we're going to factor that h. And when you factor h, again, I factor h and I factor h. So in the parenthesis, you're putting the leftovers, which is b minus x, equal xa. And the last step, divide. You need to solve for h, so you have to divide both sides by the expression in the parenthesis, which is b minus x. So we're dividing both sides by b minus x. Okay, this part cancel. and we end up with h equal xa over b minus x. And this is our final answer. Okay, so that's it from section 15.6. Thank you for watching, and there's one more section which will be 15.7, which you guys need to study for our test.